I wish my reading glasses were my normal glasses because these are so cute and they look good on me, no? Ever since I released my bone anchor hearing aid video way back in January, I have gotten a ton of questions and I'd like to answer them in this video. But before I do that, I would like to say that everything I say involving my hearing aid is based on my own experience. They are my opinions and may or may not reflect what other Baha users may think or feel. So take that into account. I'm going to answer as many of these questions as I can, to the best of my ability, so please bear with me. This question is from Thomas Campbell. Did your insurance cover the cost? Yes, my insurance covered the cost. It would not have if I had gone for the cochlear implant because I have single-sided deafness. Cochlear implants are only covered if you have profound hearing loss in both ears. I have profound hearing loss in one ear, so any other hearing aid would be an option. Do you have to wear something in your good ear to receive the sounds from your bad ear? No, I did explain in my video already that the bone anchored hearing aid exists as such to send the sound through your skull to the inner ear of your hearing ear, so you don't have to have anything in this ear. This isn't a question, but it is a comment by somebody whose username is Elmer Fudd Puckett. My doctor first recommended the Baha about 5 years ago. I never understood how this works until I watched your video, and I really doubted the benefit. I didn't understand that I could actually hear from my deaf ear. You explained this in terms and in a way my doctor couldn't. I did not say that you would be able to hear from your deaf ear. She even goes on to say that it sounds like a dream come true. You will not hear from your deaf ear. It is not going to happen. I just want to clear that up because the Baha does not help you hear from the ear that you have hearing loss in. That's what a cochlear implant does, and even then it's about 50-50 whether it'll even work. The Baha is not that. So if you're trying to get your hearing back, I would not go for this. Bria asked, did I have to take out all of my piercings for the surgery? Yes. They have you take your piercings out for any surgery just for safety reasons, even if it has nothing to do with the area that you're having surgery on, like my nose ring and my lip ring. They all had to come out. Anonymous, anonymous, asks, my question, with the Baha hearing aid, can you tell which direction sound is coming from, left or right side? So hopefully when you have your Baha on, it's not turned up to the point where you'd be able to tell the sound is coming from your hearing aid. Everything should sound like it normally does when you don't have it on. It's a supplemental thing, so you shouldn't be hearing it above anything. I can't really tell what side the sound is coming from because everything sounds like it's coming from my left side. But I have actually started to become pretty good at picking up on the difference in sound, and if it sounds the way my hearing aid makes it sound, I know it's on my right side. To Distinction asks, hi, do you have any tinnitus, and does the Baha help with that? I do have tinnitus. It is non-stop. It does not end. The Baha does not help with that. It only picks up sound and sends it to my hearing ear through my bone. I'm still just hearing a constant ringing in this ear. And it is annoying. I don't notice it most of the time because I tune it out, because I'm just going about my daily life. And even now I didn't notice it until I read that question. So, Level Earth Reality. They ask, how did you lose your hearing? I'm going to go ahead and link the video where I talk about how I lost my hearing down below, but I'll give you a quick synopsis here. The other one's much more detailed. The TLDR is, I had a really bad sinus infection that has been contained in my sinuses for years and did not cause me any trouble until one of them burst and started leaking into my head and crawled its way to my auditory nerve and killed it. I can't believe I almost had meningitis. Anyhow, that's how I lost my hearing. Annie Brunk, did you have any ringing in your ear before you got the Baha? Yes. I've actually had ringing in my ears well before I lost my hearing. Like, I've always had ringing in my ears, and I rarely notice it, but now that I'm talking about it, it's driving me nuts. Jason Adams asks, can you use headphones over the Baha, like the ones with ear cuffs? Yes, because your Baha isn't in your ear. So I'm gonna show you just a second. Right here, my hearing aid is behind my ear by a good like 1.5 inches at least. So you can put headphones on. I use earbuds and I put them in both ears even though this ear is useless. It's a little weird because if you're listening to music, you'll still hear things that are happening around you. If I don't want to hear anything happening around me, I just don't wear my hearing aid. Shivani asks, in public places, does it become too noisy? Yes, it does. And I'm glad it has a volume option, but if I'm going to a public place, I just don't wear it because it's kind of useless. Unless you bring the microphone and you plan on using it to hear the people you're with, I don't see a use for having the hearing aid in because it just gets overwhelmed with sound and gives you that feedback, and even if you turn it way down, it just does that. There's no point in wearing it in crowded places. I actually don't wear my hearing aid most of the time at this point. I wear it a lot, like 8 hours a day, because I wear it at work, but I don't wear it at home. I don't wear it when I go shopping. I don't wear it when I go for walks or ride my bike or you know, just hanging out with my boyfriend or even my friends. And I wear it when I go to work, and before I got this job, I wore it when I went to class. Those are the only two places I wear it. And I bring my microphone with me to class. I don't bring it to work. When you do have your hearing aid, you'll pick and choose when you want to wear it and when you don't want to wear it. I personally do not wear it in crowded places or places where loud music is playing. It's actually more disruptive to me in those scenarios. I have actually always had a sensitivity with hearing before I lost my hearing in this ear. Loud noises, I don't do well with them. Loud places, I don't do well with them. So it's not likely I would often go to those places, but I have noticed if I go to a bar or something, I'm not gonna wear my hearing aid. It is useless. Susan Fiore, I hope that's how you say your name. This person whose username is Susan Fiore is a haha. She says the fact that you gotta push it onto the clip and pull to take it off freaks me out. The pulling sensation is the most part I don't want. You don't feel it. There's no sensation at all. Like I feel it when my fingers touch my head to like find it and clip it on, but I feel nothing because bones don't have nerves. So you don't gotta worry about it. Becky Williams asks, how is it to sleep on? I don't sleep with it on because it's a hearing aid. If you had any type of hearing aid, you would not sleep with it on because laying on it would make it scream, and that's a feedback noise you don't want to try to sleep through. Also, it's bulky, you know, it sticks out from the side of my head, and if I rolled over, it would just pop it right off. There's no point. Sleeping with the abutment, though, is totally fine as long as it's not in any pain, like, or it's infected or doesn't have any swelling or whatever. You don't notice it's there when you're sleeping. Most of the time I don't even notice it's there unless my boyfriend is like running his fingers through my hair and he'll like come upon it and he's like, oh, sorry. I'm like, it's okay, you can touch it. But it freaks him out more than it does anything to me. Caitlin Kroonquist? How long did your surgery take? I was told it would be about 15 to 20 minutes tops. It's not a long surgery. They just cut a little slit in your head. Why is there banging going on outside? I'm gonna lock the door. They just cut a little slit in the skin of your scalp. They peel it back a little bit, drill a hole, screw in the abutment, screw in the cup, and then they punch a hole through the skin, pop it over, and sew it up. It's not a long surgery. You might be out for an hour. But the surgery itself is pretty short, so you're right. G. Osmond, getting my hearing back in my bad ear is important to me, but I'm wondering about infection around the implant area. I have been struggling with this, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have had multiple infections this year around it, and it's not because there's something wrong with it, it's because I keep touching it. And you probably shouldn't do that. This last time I had an infection was actually about 10 days ago. It lasted over a week. It was extremely painful, and I was like, and I just decided I was not going to touch it at all. And it's healed now, and it feels fine. I don't feel anything. But I would say, as a pro tip, those little buttons that come with your hearing aid in your cochlear kit, wear them, because it will help keep your skin from crawling up the side of the abutment and crawling over. That's the reason I kept having infections and inflammations, is because I kept like rubbing my skin off of that. Also, how long does the battery last for you? About 10 days if I wear it all day, every day. They're not cheap batteries, but you can buy them on Amazon in bundles for a lot less. When I was in Japan, I bought a bundle of, I think, seven of these, and it was $8 for the entire bundle. Like, definitely order online for these because they're not cheap. And I have gone through maybe 5 of them already, and that was in January. But that's also because I don't wear my hearing aid every day, and I don't wear it at home. So, saves battery when you don't wear it in places you don't need it. How often do I see other Baha users? I have yet to meet another other than you guys. You've got a very neutral accent. I wonder where you're living. My accent is a result of sort of a forced English education since I was very young. I don't know if it would be interesting to get into it. Maybe I should talk about it in another video, but I used to sound very different. That's all I can say. Am I using a neck loop to connect to my phone? I don't know what that is, so I'm assuming no. Those questions were from Scott Allen. Question from Queen Awesome. How long after your surgery were you back to regular activity? Like right after. I was fine. I was just groggy from the drugs, but you can go right back into doing stuff. It's just afterwards you have to wear this thing around your head for a couple days, so I just wouldn't do much. I sat around and ate ice cream for the most part and played on my computer, but right away, you're fine. Elaine Eddington asks, I'm wondering about taking a shower. How does the water affect the thing that's attached to your skull? It's fine. It doesn't do anything. If it hurts, then you may really need to take the opportunity in the shower to clean it thoroughly. Do not, and I mean this, do not use the brush that comes with your cochlear kit to brush your abutment. That is not for your abutment, it is for your hearing aid. And the reason is because the bristles on that brush are so hard you can cut yourself and you can really just make everything worse. But the shower is always a really good opportunity to clean it thoroughly, and that's what I do. It's kind of like a piercing, you know? I have this nose ring, but no matter where your piercing is, wherever it is wherever the metal goes through, your skin's going to kind of rot a little. Your dead skin just sits there and kind of marinates in sweat and oil, so it starts to smell. You know what I'm talking about. If you've got a septum, you can just go like this. And you can smell it. Even your ears do it. Everywhere that's pierced does it. Your Baha abutment will do that too. So it's good to clean around it and get all of that dead skin out of there at any opportunity to do so. I Gets the Cheeks asks, when your auditory nerve passed, could you hear someone? It was really weird. I lost my hearing suddenly, and it was just suddenly. It was there and then it was gone. And over the next 3 months, it slowly came back, but barely. And I was able to hear bass sounds and stuff in music. I was starting to be able to hear people's voices if my earbud was in, but I couldn't hear what they were saying. And then after my sinus surgery that Friday, it happened again. I had vertigo again, and my hearing just disappeared, and it's been completely gone since. There was a question from somebody that I saw a while back having to do with being embarrassed while wearing it, and I would like to encourage you to try to adjust your idea of what it would be to wear one, because it's not embarrassing at all. We do what we can to get by in life with what we have, and it's best to be proud of the way that you are able to do that than to be embarrassed by something that essentially makes you a badass fucking cyborg. She wanted to know if you could cover your hearing aid with your hair. As you can see, I've cut my hair and I have been putting it on and you can't see it at all. That was not my goal. I just realized that since my hair isn't as heavy, it does not rub against my hearing aid and make a screeching sound or that loud it gets when you touch it. So that's just how it's been. If you're really concerned about how it looks, then maybe consider, if you have long hair, sacrificing some length and boom, it'll be hidden. But for the most part, I'd like to say there is nothing to be embarrassed about, but I will tell you something else. We're not normal people. Deaf people are not normal people. People who are hearing impaired are not normal people. We are exceptional people. We are awesome people, and we are basically fucking cyborgs. Think about it. I'm cooler than you because I can't hear in one of my ears. Not really, but you know what I mean. That is the end of this video. I want to thank everybody who shared their stories with me. I am so excited that you have chosen this option, not just because it's a good one, but also because it's the option that I chose, and I just thrive at the idea that I can share it with other people because I haven't met anybody in person who has one. Thank you so much for supporting me in this as well. I'm so glad to have all of you, and your stories just warmed my heart, so thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Please like this video. Ask some more questions. I might make another Q&A later. And I will see you next time. Johnny!